All right, it's looking like it's starting to stabilize here. We'll have people joining us, I'm sure, as we keep going here. But welcome, everyone. Welcome to our spring town hall meeting. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you guys this morning. I've been around and seen more people probably in the last 2 months than I probably have in the last 2 years, between gala and the convention and just being out and about a little bit more in the offices and actually getting to see folks. But it's great to see all of your faces here on the screen this morning. As I was saying, as we were waiting for people to join, expecting 280 some odd folks to join us today, as well as 3 watch parties. So a really great registration group, and we're already at 205 participants on the call as we speak now. So you'll probably some more coming in. Really have just a few things to share with you today. I want to go over some things that have been on my mind and some things that have been going on both in the company and in the market. And then I want to give you guys, and we're going to try something we don't normally do at the end when we get to question and answer. We're actually going to have you, okay, somebody is sharing their screen. Anybody know what's going on there?
It looked to me like Pete hit the share screen button.
All right, host, is there any way we can undo that? Hold on, guys, we'll get this figured out for just a second.
Got it. Sorry.
All righty, thank you, Jen. All right, and so I have a couple things I want to share with you guys that have, like I said, a bit of my mind. A couple of things are going on in the marketplace and some thoughts there. Going to talk about the convention a little bit and go over all the recognition we received at the convention. Talk about a couple of things that we have in the hopper for you guys that are coming. One that launched yesterday with another contest we're running, as well as some stuff that is coming in the very, very near future on our tech stack implementation project. So without further ado, I'll jump right into the market. So been a little slower, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys are feeling that a little bit. So we've got a lot of different things going on. We had a wave of Omicron variant that had a lot of people sick, both agents, consumers, employees. There was a lot of downtime over the winter time frame. So we had some lack of activity, both from the consumer standpoint and from not only our company, but the industry in general. And we're looking at, record low, you keep saying it over and over again, like the inventory levels are continuing to be lower and lower and lower on a standing inventory basis. And I'm going to share my screen now and show you some of this stuff. So you should have the full screen of my screen now. Jen, give me a thumbs up. Thank you, ma'am. So out of Bright MLS, there's some reporting you can pull, actually some pretty neat stats in there. And I went in and generated a report for active listings starting back in March of 2020. How many active listings were actually on the market in our 15 county footprint? So if you go back to March of 2020, there were almost like 38,000 listings on the market in our 15 county footprint. At the end of February, we were down to just over 15,000 listings in that same footprint. And you can kind of see that steady decline of active listings available. One of the things that is interesting, though, is we're actually generating more new listings. They're just getting absorbed faster than they come on. So that in the March 20 marketing report that goes out every week, and I encourage you to take a look at this. This is a pretty good snapshot of what's going on, at least in the entire Bright footprint. You can dig down to at least a state level basis. They don't really get any lower than state level. But when you look at this right now in the Bright footprint overall, for every 100 new listings, we're writing 108 contracts. So inventory is coming on, and the total inventory, meaning those that are active and pending, is actually increasing. But the active piece of that is continuing to shrink because of this amazing amount of activity. So the point I'm trying to make is, don't get discouraged because there's not active inventory, because there is activity. There's a tremendous amount of velocity. We've got to be nimble. We've got to continue in this mode of hyperactivity with our buyers. You got to be coaching them on the things that will make their contract successful. And guys, I totally understand. It's also in the light of rapidly increasing interest rates. So I think demand's actually likely to increase in the short term as people try to get their housing situation resolved before interest rates go up anymore. Anytime we see a bump in rates, you typically see people who've been sitting on the fence that want to get something done before they miss out. So as I shared in the kickoff meeting, I think the first half of this year's market, and everything is lining up that way, is going to continue to be this low inventory, hyperactivity, frenzied market. And then in the second half of the year, I think we'll start to see some normalization of that. And inventory's coming. It's just coming and going almost simultaneously. So just continue to stay on top of it, continue to follow what's going on in the market, continue to control those activities that you can control. Stay in, using our ninja terms, for those that are ninja, stay in flow with your people so that you know what's going on. Listen for those pain and pleasure points. Ask those Ford questions: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Continue to build those relationships and look for those points of change, because those indicate that they're going to be considering a housing change. And that's just a really important piece. And just stay in contact, stay in flow, and be top of mind when they finally decide that they're moving forward with a housing transaction, especially if they're going to list. One of the big things I'm also going to encourage you to do on the list side is dive deeper into your discovery. Dive deeper into why they're selling or why they want to sell, because you can become a much better resource for them the more you understand their motivation, and you can put different opportunities in front of them. Our quick buy program that we rolled out last year is totally designed to help you solve problems. So if you're having conversations with people and they are fearful of listing because they're going to sell their house too fast and they haven't found the other place and they've lost out on some other offers, or maybe they can't qualify while they own both houses, think about quick buy, either quick buy lock or even quick buy with a rent back for your folks. Quick buy will buy the house today, make them a completely funded buyer, and let them rent back at 1% of the value of the home. Really, as long as they need to. I mean, within reason. They're perfectly happy with that rate of return. So there are those programs that exist to give you guys more dialogues and to help solve this kind of frozen market that we're in at the moment. In a different market, those programs can meet other needs. But right now, we're really trying to use it to change the dialogues and to really make you stand out and differentiate yourself in a market where possibly the value of the listing agent, when everything sells so fast, gets diminished. We want you to have different dialogues and different options, different solutions to help people solve their problems. And remember, you always stay in the center of the transaction when you use that quick buy program, because when it relists, it's going to come back to you. We're starting to see a little more success with that. There's some tweaks to procedures that's gotten streamlined. There's no more CMA required. That we're working really hard with them on coming up with a process for how to be able to allow you to walk into the first appointment and either walk out with option, either you take a quick buy opportunity or you're walking out with a signed listing agreement if they choose not to take the quick buy opportunity. So we're really trying to create that that one-stop one meeting opportunity for you and still being able to offer a quick buy solution. Should have some more details on that in the next days, or if not in the next days, definitely the next week or so. Move on now, and so obviously some market conditions there. Convention, man, wow, our group just rocked it. I mean, we had representation at the individual agent level, with Juan being ranked number 17 in the top 25 agents for units. We had Loretta up in Reading with her team ranked number 9 for small teams. RJ's team down in Baltimore, number 4 in the small teams. Had Chris Cook in Baltimore with number 11 in the medium-sized teams. We had the RJT team in Dallastown at number 7 in the medium-sized teams. Mark Will from Lancaster. I'm sorry, Mark Will from Lancaster at number 6 on the medium-sized teams. We had the Wham team out of Cinema Drive at 23 on the large teams. We had CCY at 22 on the large teams. Just an amazing representation. Then we had Sure Sales Group with Andrew, who was actually there at convention with us, had a great time. He spoke on a couple of, at least one panel, maybe 2. I know he was on one. Ranked number 7 for the large teams and units, and number 11 by GCI. Craig Hartraff team, number 25 in large teams by units, number 9 by GCI. Just an amazing representation from the stage for our folks, and so great to see that going on. And from the office and company level, that led to North Point being ranked number 7 out of the top 10 offices for units, and the company being ranked number 11 in GCI for the year and number 5 in units. So just an amazing representation of Homesale from the convention stage. Convention overall, if you've talked to your peers that who went, the content I thought was great. The events that Berkshire Hathaway set up was great. The party that Sandy set up for us was phenomenal. I actually got feedback for some people who attended a couple of different parties who said by far our company party is the best one they attend, and Sandy always rocks it. Make sure we have some live music, which is always nice. And just a great event. The city of Louisville was not ready to host a convention, and unfortunately, if we had any negativity around it, it's just that they're not completely really reopened for business the way they really need to be to host a convention. Hopefully ours will launch the efforts to get more businesses open in the downtown area, and as more and more business comes back, hopefully a city I've come to enjoy after visiting it several times will start to return to its former glory. Couple of things that came out from the franchise, really cool stuff. I thought this one was really, it's a cute thing. I think it'll drive some commentary and some excitement around the country. They're going to run what's called their Paul Perfect Sweepstakes. It's a chance for customers and clients to win a miniature version of their own home for their pet, and you'll see that launching in April with a lot of the media surrounding it. It's a really kind of cool opportunity, and we'll have the ability to share that with social media graphics, et cetera, to your networks and get it out to all of your sphere of influence. Just another kind of cool excuse to reach out and talk to people. And then they launched their 2022 marketing campaign, and it's all focused on the consumer's desire for lifestyle. Throughout the pandemic, we've seen this shift to people wanting to enjoy a work-life balance, and all of their consumer-facing ads this year are going to be on that focus of lifestyle. And I thought they were well done, and will add some good content to our libraries of content, and a lot of good stuff that will be available for us to share. Moving on to our tech stack update. So we have completed the Google transition. And when I say completed, it means all of our users are on Google, they're on the Google platform. We are still adding value every day. We're looking at ways that we can use that platform more and more of us are becoming competent in sharing documents via the Google Drive for for secure sharing of documents. There's just a lot more that will come from there, including we're looking at it as the host possibly for all of our Homesale team Homesale content, which will be coming down the line in the near future. It's a gigantic project to move all that content onto the Google Drive, but if you've used the search functionality, in the Google Drive, it's pretty amazing how you can find stuff. I searched something the other day and like a 2016 email came up, and it put one little piece of information back in my frontal lobe that allowed me to work on something that honestly I thought I was going to have to go digging through a filing cabinet to find. So it was really cool to be able to do that from an archived email. We're launching we're in the integration process right now with ActivePipe. If you recall in our previous conversations, ActivePipe is an iterative emailing campaign marketing system. So as the consumer interacts with the content gets customized to their journey. And this is a program that's designed to put some of your activities into that auto flow area. And a lot of it will be, as much as humanly possible, we will automate this so you have minimum interaction with the system. And even if you decide not to interact with it at all as an agent, we anticipate there will be value, but some of this stuff will just start to happen on your behalf with things that are sitting in company databases that of dead leads or stuff that just hasn't gotten follow up on because the consumer didn't progress, all those types of things. This is where we're trying to take those pipelines of dormant leads and reactivate those consumers so they come back to us and we can get them out to agents who can help them. And one that wasn't on our agenda when we spoke in January that has moved up in our priority list is we are launching Close CRM. This is getting closer to that concept of an easy button app that we've talked about so much. Close CRM is just those of us who've used it are agents who were on our advisory panel that downloaded a temporary version of it and used it for a while and got some feedback from them. Everyone who's come in contact with this is like, this is really, really cool. It essentially tries to make your CRM activities invisible. The activities that you're doing anyway. So when you make a phone call, if that phone number is in your contacts, that's going to get logged into your database that you made a phone call on March 22nd. If you send a text, that text is getting logged into your database of clients saying that you made contact on this date. It is just a really, really neat application, intuitive, and works really with the idea of being embedded into the day-to-day activities that you're already doing, which is really, really something that we found powerful. And we believe we can, between this, the Google platform, and some other existing systems getting integrated into it, we believe we can really start to streamline your interaction with the technology so that the technology works for you instead of you working to make the technology useful. That's the real goal. I don't need to know how the telephone connects me to people in across the country. I just want to pick up the phone and call it, right? that's kind of the same idea here. We want this to work without you having to know how
Louise, is it okay if I stop?
how the system is built. Thank you, Jen. We don't have a hard launch date yet on Close. We want to really take a look at the integrations and really look at how to get the most out of the system, but it is coming rapidly and is on the top priorities of the leadership team to get it launched and get it out there. Hopefully you saw that announcement a few days ago. And then just that started yesterday, we have an Agent Plus contest running. If you recall, we did one of these back in the winter during kind of the holiday season. Had a great results from it, and we're excited to do it again. The contest is going to run from March 22nd to April 30th. So how does it work? Agent Plus is our rebranded team builder program. It's really designed to help you create a residual income by helping us grow our company with people that are going to be a great fit for our culture of high productivity and while having a good time and enjoying each other's company. The way to enter the contest is you reach out to the candidate, share why you think Homesale is a great place for them, discuss Homesale as a fit, and then let them know that one of our Homesale leaders will be in contact to make an appointment. Then you register that candidate in Homesale Center. Once the appointment with the Homesale leader is completed, you will get a contest entry. If it's an existing agent, a veteran agent, you're going to get essentially 2 entries, and if it's a new to business candidate, you'll have a single entry for that. And then on May 2nd, we'll combine all the entries and randomly select one employer agent who will receive a $3,000 award. As the fine print says there, it is unfortunately taxable, so it will go on your 1099 or W-2, but it is a compensation. So the IRS says we have to report it, so it will be reported. But hopefully you will get excited about this, get some inter-office competition going, get those competitive juices flowing, and get out there and help your office grow with the kind of people that we want here at Homesale that are going to make us continue to make us a phenomenal company and a place that you're proud to work. So please help us with this. We really enjoy it when we have an opportunity to meet folks out there that are good fits. I know from the last contest, we've already been able to secure some new folks into the company that came right out of the contest. And so we were excited to run it again. And that is it for my prepared remarks. Let me get off of screen share. And we'll open it up. It's now 10:26, so I've gone a little longer than maybe we were planned, but let's open it up for whether anybody has any questions, and we'll answer any questions that folks have. And I'll check the chat too and see if there were any.
Hi, good morning. It's Lynn from the Harrisburg office. There have been communications back and forth between myself and the manager about potentially starting like a listing concierge program. Is that still in the works? I think they were going to implement it in Maryland first.
Is Dawn on the line, or maybe Jen can give some feedback there? I know we have a pilot out there. I don't know where all it's being offered at the moment.
I'm happy to jump in. I just
there's Jen Rivkin. Jen Rivkin, can you maybe give us a little more details there? I appreciate it.
Sure. So we launched it in Maryland maybe about 3 months ago, right before the holidays. And so that package basically included things along the lines of some marketing, inputting the listing because they do some things a little bit differently in some offices than others. Getting signs up for you, getting measurements, and getting into the house and getting those pictures taken. So one of the things as we bring it into Pennsylvania is we want to relook at what is actually being offered as part of the marketing side of that, because some of our Pennsylvania offices were already doing some of those items for our agents. So we have the intention of having a meeting in the next couple of weeks with Dawn to kind of put together those packages for PA and get something out there shortly. So I think those will include some customization to the listing presentation for you, and some flyers that you would be able to take with you to kind of demonstrate the type of marketing that you could do for the client. So I would say probably keep an eye out for mid-second quarter for those to be available in Pennsylvania.
And I would just add, in the meantime, if there's something specific that somebody's looking for, they certainly can reach out to me and we can work with them through that.
Thanks, Dawn. Thanks, Jen and Corinne. Thanks for the question. I really appreciate it. That's what today is about, is ask those questions are kind of in the back of your mind. And if I don't have the answer, I've got an amazing team of folks that can probably find it.
And can I just add one thing to that as well is, you know, I'm not exactly sure what you're looking for, but make sure you're checking out what's offered under virtual assistant as well, because there's a lot of things that Tiffany already has in a listing marketing package that is available to you right now. So make sure that you are looking at that. And again, if Dawn can't customize it, or if you don't reach out to Dawn, you can reach out to Tiffany and she can do some customization for you as well. So those options are already available.
Hey, this is Robin Podorf from the East Office.
Hi, Robin.
I just want to also just comment. I thought the conference was great. I thought the setup was really terrific, the way they kind of listened to our comments and rework things a little bit. I agree that Louisville was not prepared for us, but all in all, we had a pretty fabulous time and got a lot of great information from the classes and from the mind share. So all in all, it was totally worthy.
Yeah, and as other people are thinking about whether they have any other questions, they did announce next year, as we had expected, we are going to go back to Vegas. It's going to be a little later in the month of March.
I'm just sitting here watching the Sim. What do you have McCabe working on?
Sorry about that. It's going to be back in Vegas. There's a new convention center attached to the Caesars that we've never been to before. It's a non-smoking, non-casino hotel. And it's going to be later in the month. It's going to start on Sunday the 26th and run through Tuesday the 28th of March of next year. So it's a little later in the year than we've normally had convention. But probably will be very well attended. Vegas normally draws really, really well. Those of us who've been to Vegas several times, I love the offerings that Vegas gives us for entertainment. The one thing it doesn't typically give us that these smaller convention cities does is this great opportunity to hang out as a company and spend time getting to know each other a little bit better, just because it's so big and spread out that people kind of go in smaller groups in separate directions based on their interest. You know, the live show folks go to live show, the casino folks go to casino shows. You know, it kind of gets spread out a little bit. And we don't get quite the same networking and camaraderie that we do, you know, when we're in a smaller convention city. But it's a phenomenal venue with a lot of entertainment options, a lot of cool stuff going on. I'll put a plug in also. I see Fern is on the call. If you are chairman and above, please consider going to Summit. I know Fern and Rose went last year and had a great experience there. A couple of their people they networked actually ended up showing up at our event in Louisville. They were one of our feedbacks that Sandy throws a better party than anybody else in the network. So just a really good experience. And yes, the kind of camaraderie that gets built at that conference is that, those folks saw Fern and Rose and stopped in and said hi. And actually I got a few minutes to speak with them as well. And that will be in Boston in the fall. So absolutely check that out if it's something, if you enjoy networking with agents from around the country and you qualify at that chairman's and above level, it's a really cool conference, and I would give it our endorsement based on feedback from Fern and from the other people I've heard who go to that event. So it's a really neat one.
Rod, if you ask me any questions, my internet right now is unstable, my connection. So I didn't hear.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put words in your mouth, Fern, but if you have any comments on Summit and stuff that you got out of it that you'd like to share, I'd certainly welcome them.
Well, I think we definitely are planning on going again. Yeah, last year was fantastic, and we made some really good connections with different agents from Oregon, Connecticut, all over. So if we have any referrals, that's where they go. And we want referrals. We want
Absolutely.
the business.
Absolutely. All right, did anybody else come up with?
Rod, you somehow got muted. There you go.
Sorry about that. Does anybody else have any other questions? I think I clicked it to unmute, but I was already unmuted. Does anybody else have any other questions? If not, we'll start to wrap up. We're at 35 minutes here, and this was really supposed to be just a quick update. We're going to do them, every 3 months or so, and kind of give you guys an update and an opportunity to talk.
One more question that came in the chat box was, is Close the same CRM they talked about at convention? And then I would just suggest we talk a little bit about Close and how awesome it is because of it integrating with Google Contacts. So everything will kind of pull in.
Right. Yeah. So in fact, I only had it up there for a second, but there's a video that went out in the Close announcement right before the convention. It is not the same CRM that's announced at the convention. The CRM that was that they're working on with the convention won't roll out probably till third or fourth quarter. It's only connected really to the leads coming off of the national website. It is really just an effort to try to repower the back end of the national website. We certainly will follow that work and determine if it's something that we need to try to figure out how to integrate with Close and our other systems. But this is a value on top of what the franchise provides from being a part of Homesale instead of just any old Berkshire Hathaway franchise. As Jen was saying, it is Close is really, from my perspective, most of you will probably only interact with it from your cell phone. You make your connections like you would your Facebook or your Instagram or any social media you're using, and it goes out and pulls your contacts in from your phone. It pulls your contacts in from your Google account, and it starts to then track your interactions with those individuals, and it will actually start to look for, using AI, look for things that you should be doing that might be slipping your mind, and give you alerts to say, hey, you haven't talked to Jen Jones in 3 weeks. That's unusual. You need to talk to Jen, you need to talk to Jen Jones. So it'll give you cues to do things that kind of operate as that automatic accountability partner for you and kind of help you stay on task is the whole goal behind it. It's next level stuff, guys. I mean, this is not, an access database with a fancy covering on it. This is something completely new and different. than anything else that we've ever looked at. I mean, there's nothing that I've ever looked at that's even close. You know, in 17 years of doing this, nothing's even come close to what we're looking at here. So it's a total new, you know, game changer, totally different look at the way you interact with your database, and you know, much more intuitive. You don't need to be a data scientist to figure out how to use it. You go in, you set up your connections, and you're done. It starts to work for you. You know, so it's really, really cool. And we'll look to develop some best practices for, you know, as we get deeper and deeper into it. So, you know, if you're already using a CRM, is it that you integrate close with your current CRM, or is it that you don't need your old CRM anymore and we do an export import? Like we're going to be working through all of those types of questions. But it's really, really good. And I just saw that some questions coming in. Yeah, so, you know, there's some questions going on in the chat box, but really great team structure ability in it for lead accountability for team leaders to their team members. It does allow, you know, some drip campaign stuff. It's really, really slick system. I encourage you to grab that video. In fact, I'll put it back up real quick if you guys want to write it down. Hold on.
Rod, if you could grab that link from your slide and stick it in the chat box, that would be the easiest way for everybody to copy it so they have it and can check it out. And then, guys, just so you know, we've had one implementation meeting. Our second one is on Wednesday. So we're really early in the process of getting everything integrated, but we'll absolutely be communicating features, functionality, setup processes, training schedules and dates. So just stay tuned for that and know we're really early in the process, but super excited to get this rolled out the right way for all of you.
Yep. Yeah, and the reason to talk about it here is so that when you see stuff that says close, or you see that, you understand that this is a game changer. This is not another SQL database that just has a little different feature and functionality to it, and you go, and well, I already have XYZ, I don't need to pay attention to that. This is absolutely something you want to be paying attention to. So even though we don't have all the details worked out and have it exactly precisely ready, I want you to start like really paying attention. When we start talking about close, I want you to go, oh yeah, that's that thing Rod talked about. I want to be paying attention to that. So that's the reason we're, you know, out in front of it this far talking about it. We're super excited about it. It is something that we you know, absolutely believe is a productivity game changer for you guys. It will change the way you, and I keep saying it will make close will work for you instead of you having to go in and do extra work to keep your database updated. So that's the real benefit. So, you know, it's gonna really be you know, totally different. Marty asked, will there be a cost? No, we will be providing close to all of our agents as part of the value proposition of being a part of Homesale. There are some additional add-ins to the system that we are looking at as offering either on a la carte basis, or whether we do some kind of whether we can bulk purchase enough seat licenses on those add-ins to be able to offer them at a discount or things along those lines. But at the core system, we're going to be offering the closed system as part of the value proposition. All right. I loaded that video link into the chat, so make sure you copy that if you haven't already, before we close things down here. All right, any more questions? All right, guys, have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you guys out and about. I've, trying to get out again as much as possible, and stay in touch with those prospective listing folks. I've shared this with several of you. The way to always win in a competitive offer situation is to be the listing agent. So get out there and grab the listing inventory and let's go to work. Great to see everybody. Bye-bye.